I don't know. Got to get more preachers, I think. Well, what's happening there, buddy? All right. Mm. All right. So we're in a new location today. Hello, everyone. We're going to have Big Johnny jump on here in a little bit. In the meantime, just wanted to say hello and that the team is working on a new program, and that new program will be available after this incredible 4th of July week, which I hope everybody is um, preparing for, ready for. This is going to be a great week. We are on the East Coast training. Wow, what's up? The Gigas. The Gigas are here. All the Gigas are here. I love it. And I got to talk to my boy Johnny today about the Giga Chads. Shall we bring on the stud muffin right now? And also merch, guys. I am wearing some of the new merch over at the Titan.
Ooh, it
Oh,
looks good too, bro. Oh
right. Come on
yeah,
now.
that's right. I
And
love
it
it. I love it.
fits. That's the one thing about like shirts for me, man. I like the fit where it just kind of hangs. We're big
Yes,
boys, and so I don't
yes.
like. I am not the skin tight guy. I'm not a fan of not breathing. Maybe that's
Yeah,
a judo thing. I don't like. You can't put your hand around my neck.
right,
You're gonna lose your arm.
right.
And I don't like tight clothes, especially around the throat. And
No,
this is like, I'm
it's not
telling you, folks,
super stretchy, breathable. I mean, listen,
breathable.
whatever we do as Titans is always going to be the top notch, top tier, best of the best that we can possibly can do. Because
Well,
one,
I'm gonna try. You do. Let's be. You are top notch on everything. So,
gotta be. I want to excel on all levels, and I want and I'm wearing the clothing too every day, just like you
yep,
wear your clothing every day,
yep,
right?
yep.
And I want to feel good and know it's really good stuff, and it is like functional too as well. So that's what I'm all about. If I have to wear something, I'm gonna make sure it's nice. It's just like my dress clothes or whatever it is. Even I put embroidery on those because I want to look nice. For certain occasions you need certain outfits, and majority of the time if we're relaxing or we're in active areas, we're gonna be wearing some clothing like this, which is it's awesome. And if it feels good, it's the best. And who doesn't want that? Who wants to get a hard T-shirt and wear a hard T-shirt? Nobody.
Somebody just said, "Hey, I want to send you out some shirts. We got the best quality and stuff like that." And even like
Uh-huh.
bodybuilding.com has sent me shirts and stuff. And then I get them. I'm like, okay,
There's no
uh,
way. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, how such a that's a so yeah. I don't get it. But here's one thing that I know that you feel the same way as I do, and you're also an athlete, and you came from that mindset, and so I don't call them clothing or merch. I call them our uniforms, and,
Mm-hmm.
and that is the lifestyle. That
Mm-hmm.
Titan Medical. It's the uniform, and
That's
it's a
right.
team. It's a team. That's what I love about your stuff and the power bodybuilding. It's just like
Yeah,
the
man.
uniforms.
Absolutely. You got to feel good in those uniforms too, man. You perform better. I mean, I think in all actuality, I mean, you look better, you feel better, you perform better. I mean, it is what it is. It all goes together, so it's a beautiful thing.
Exactly, exactly. So today started out pretty darn wild, and we see with the chats and the way it's going right now, it's uh, we got a lot of the Giga Chads in the house, and thanks so much for talking to me today about your knowledge on what this is and how it's going, and
Yeah,
the possibilities of where this can go. And
yeah.
so
I
I'm
mean,
very new, but I
yeah.
am loving this ride.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard about this, and then obviously, you coming forth about this, so I mean, it was pretty cool because I mean, crypto. I've been in crypto for I think like 6, 7, 8 years right now, And originally it was just like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, some Bitcoin Cash, some other different things. But at that point, like I've seen it be very volatile. So, I got in at one point and then it went really down and I just stayed in. I didn't want to get rid of it. And I let it went back up and went down and back up. And now it's sustaining in the 60s, right? As far as that $60,000 for Bitcoin. So around there, 61 or 62 today, so it's pretty cool because it's a longevity thing. Like if you get sick by your money going up and down, then hey, listen, or if you're in a bad coin per se, but there's these coins that are back now, these new coins that are coming out and they've already came out, so this is some real legitimate currency type things that possibly could happen here. Depending on the election, we already know one candidate, and I won't say his name on here because it's not political, but one candidate said that he would definitely, advise at doing crypto. So at that point, that's another plus. We know that crypto, NFTs, that EFTs, that's been a thing. So now that, now you can invest in this and kind of feel a little bit more comfortable. But big companies are buying big bulks of crypto. I mean, the writing's on the wall. I mean, the way that, the Federal Reserve is, our debt and all that. I mean, you've got to look for different options, and cryptocurrency is one of them, especially for trackability wise. I mean, you can't track transactions. I mean, that's another thing.
Well, thank you for taking time this morning. I know you had a crazy morning. Tuesdays are one of those tough days. Yes. But at the same time, a day that you need to do. And I just saw something the other day, and it made me think of talking to you and stuff. Is there comes a time where, especially for I think, I don't want to say especially, but for a man, is to where the emotion has to be removed and the man has to do his responsibilities. And I thought that was very interesting to me, and very, very great point. It's like, I get it. You feel good today. You don't feel good. I don't care. Get up and do the responsibilities that you have to do today. And I thought that was a great learning lesson for a lot of people out there, especially if you guys are youngsters and stuff. Is some days you may wake up and you may be emotionally hit or whatever you would call it, but you still got to get up and do your stuff that you have to get done. Yeah. So today's one of those days. Tell me about what's going on over there at Titan Medical, my friend.
Whew. So this week, obviously it's 4th of July week, so big Independence Day for our country. It's an awesome thing to celebrate every year in our independence. But here at Titan Medical Center, we want to help everybody out too as well. So we did extend the blood work special for everybody. It's the last week I'm going to do it. So at that point, everybody can get the blood work special still. Because I got people still calling me up about it. So my guess, we're going to accept it. So we put that in special for this week. Other than that, we put some other components together for people as far as what they can do to possibly get some different results a little bit quicker than what they're doing right now if they're not doing any of the therapies with us. So obviously with our ECA stack and our Titan Complete and our topical Titan fat burning product. So at that point, they can get that at a discount too as well. So the summer special is still there for them for all these different combinations of things. If they want to get one, they want to get two, they want to get three, they're going to get a discount either way they go, and get some savings there so they can start expediting on one, getting healthier, and two, hopefully getting aesthetically better in the ways that you want to, whether it's losing weight or gaining muscle or whatever it may be.
That's a good question. And somebody just threw it up here. How often to get checked? This is something we've covered, but we got a lot. It's apparent that we have a lot of new people today. So if we can, maybe today's probably a good day to, I guess you would call, refresh a lot of the stuff we've talked about, Johnny, because it looks like our numbers are exploding today.
Sure. So Titan Medical Center, if you guys don't know who we are, we've been around for 12 years, and we do everything from hormone replacement therapy, medical weight loss, vitamin amino acid injectable therapies, rejuvenation detox, libido enhancers, peptide therapies, blood work, and everything that's make you feel good, look good, and perform better. So we're nationwide service. So you guys all know that information right up front. I mean, so we've talked about so many different things, from peptides to hormones. I mean, weight loss. I mean, really in the direction, what do you guys really want to hear about? Because we can talk about some of these different things for hours on end.
Let's talk about the first one, checkups. How often should somebody do it? And who should do a blood
Sure.
work? Because that's
Sure.
what, again, Titan Medical right now is doing a special this week, and it's still available for everybody
Yes.
here. So for you guys and girls, this would be the week to get your checkup and just message over there.
Yeah.
The phone number is here right on the screen, and also my link for Titan Medical is right in the feed.
Yeah.
And we'll also put that on Twitter. We'll put that on Instagram. We'll put that everywhere on stories and stuff, so you can click on it and take you right to it.
Yeah.
But Johnny, who should go in for blood work, and how often should they do that?
Sure. So, any male or female 21 years old to 60, 65 years old, I mean, and beyond, but I mean, that's what we're servicing, should go in and get blood work, especially if you're noticing different things that are off or could be off, or you think you're having an issue with, that would be probably the best thing to do. If you're younger, within 20 to 25 years old, and you really don't think anything's wrong, we have different therapies that will help you guys out. But I always think it's a good idea to check blood work, no matter how young or how old you are, because different things happen to different people, and you really don't know what's happening on the inside until you really look. So I think that's a good thing. Now, I would say every 3 to 6 months would be a good thing for you to check. We say if you're on hormone replacement therapy with us, you're going to get at least 2 blood tests a year. Okay. Now that could increase to 3 or 4, depending on if you have any issues, and we might need to recheck maybe just 1 or 2 tests. So we might send you in again just to dial it in, or if there's a problem or issue that you might be thinking you're having, then we want to make sure that we get to the bottom of that problem and resolve that problem, make sure that you're good to go. So every 3 to 6 months, 6 months on a minimum. But if you want to check every month, you can do that. If there's a problem and things change within 3 months, like a hemoglobin A1C, which is a 3 month sugar average, right? Then you can check that every 3 months, or you can do every month if it was a cholesterol issue. That changes every 30 days. So, it's really on you of how in depth you really want to check, but you want to, 3 to 6 months would be the sweet spot for anybody else, I would say, right? Unless you really want to dive in deep, or you're like me and Mike, where we really are really like, hey, listen, I want to know what's going on as soon as possible, right? As soon as I can get a different result. So, that's what we do. But yeah, so and it's real simple and easy to do too as well. So if you're not here in Tampa, Florida, and you can't come in our beautiful office here, which we can do for you, then we can send you a nationwide to a lab closest to your zip code, where you take a prepaid lab requisition slip and your ID into. They're going to draw your labs. You don't have to show them an insurance card. You owe them no more money. And at that point, we're going to get the labs expedited 3 to 4 business days, which is faster than anybody out there is going to get them to you. Right. And at that point, we're going to get you either scheduled with a consultation, or we'll get you your results that you need, and kind of briefly go over them. So at that point, you'll know a direction. If there's a problem, we can help you fix that very easily. We can do a consult virtually, in a recorded video with our medical provider. And it's not some 5-minute consultation where you don't get your questions asked. This is going to be a 30 to 45 minute to at maximum an hour. And at that point, you're going to, be able to answer your questions. They're going to go over your health history, your family history, your blood work, if you have blood work, and assess and give you a personalized regimen of what would be best for you to get your results, and not try to just swamp a whole bunch of different therapies on you and see which one sticks. We want to make sure we dial you in and give you the best possible options that we can to get you the best possible result, with health being number one priority to us. We want that to be the first thing over aesthetics, over anything else. Your health is the number one priority, and that's what we're worried about over everything.
I love it. I'm gonna add in my 2 cents here. Again, Titan Medical, they're responsible, and they you have to get blood work a couple times a year,
Yep.
and that's so you can still see them. So, do I do twice a year? No, I don't. I do more than that, and the reason
Right.
why, first of all, it's affordable. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that's I'm gonna do it, and it's also about what's going on inside that engine. And I want, yes, a shiny car on the outside, but I want that
Right.
fuel engine that's
Right.
working. So I'll do it every 4 to 8 weeks, and I have been steadily doing this. And the reason why I do it is so I can learn. So I
Mm-hmm.
can learn and learn and learn. And trust me, I've been doing this for doing the blood work with Titan Medical now a
Yeah.
year,
Yeah. A
a
year.
year,
A
and
year.
I'm still learning. Obviously, you're not going to just know everything right from the start. And so it's still things that I'm learning. But I also change my nutrition a lot. And
Hmm.
so I want to see how that interacts with what's going on inside. Um, you guys know health and fitness can be incredible for longevity. But understand this too, if you're weightlifting incorrectly, if you're not recovering, if you're just going into the gym and acting like an animal, but not feeding your body outside, and you're not taking maybe like the Hercules potion or the EAAs from Titan Medical, and you're not
Hmm.
recovering, then you're breaking your body down to where it does not rebuild. And
Right.
so my suggestion is, and I'm finding out, and I just got a wake up call from Titan Medical because I did a complete amino acid
Hmm.
lineup to see
Hmm.
which ones. And I'm sitting there going, when Johnny gives me this back, it's going to be like my glutamine's perfect, and my BCAA, everything is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised how much my body utilizes those things and ate that up. And my
Yeah.
numbers were still low on all those things. And I'm like, wow, I can optimize and do a little bit more of the glutamines and the Hercules
Yeah.
potion and all this kind of stuff to recover better.
Right.
I would never have known that. I would never have known that if I didn't do the blood work and the
I
panel
know.
like that.
I know. It's super cool. There our in-depth
Wow.
panel that we have for a discount. It's super in-depth. When you start adding tests on like the complete amino acid blood test, all amino acids, your non-essential and your essential, and you see exactly where they're at. It's super important information for you to know. Amino acids are building blocks from proteins. I mean, at that point, like they're very essential for a lot of processes in your body and how your body is the way it is, and it performing optimally too as well. Recovering is one of them. I mean, that's just glutamine. I mean, there's other different ones that, I mean, you're getting a lot of different benefit from. So, there's a number of different tests we can run plus the in-depth blood test that we already run. It's totally on you. And at that point, if you really want to know this information, and I think this one is really cool because if you think you have the best nutrition and you think you have the best supplementation, put it to the test, right?
Yeah.
See, put it down on paper, and then it'd be like just a guy that thinks, oh, I have high testosterone, but I'm lethargic, I got ED, I'm depressed, I have no motivation. That is it's niled, to a certain extent. So put it to the test, see where your stuff's at, and if you need to improve or need to switch, you'll be able to know. Because a million and one people come at me and they say, John, why would I inject amino acids when I can get amino acids from my food? Or I can
It's a
get it
good,
from
it's a great question. It's a great point. People have
great
been taking it
question.
over the counter. Yeah.
But this is what I tell them straight off. I go, listen, I said, one, if you have that good of a nutritional diet where you're taking all that food, where you're hitting all your parameters for all your vitamins, amino acids, and all these different things that you need, man, I need to sign you to Titan because you know what? We can do great things together. Because I can tell everybody, listen, this is exactly what you need to eat to get exactly what you need to do. And they follow the plan, they follow the plan. Because I haven't seen anything like that out there. That'd be a great guide. I think that Mike, if you would probably be the one to develop it. So at that point, like, all right, cool. The other way is oral supplementation. So I've seen people with oral supplementation take the exact same things and their numbers come back deficient. And they're taking massive amounts number wise intake. So, from injectable, yeah, some things might be 25 milligrams. And like, man, like I'm taking 5,000 milligrams,
Right.
in this
Right.
oral supplementation, put it to the test. Because I already know what mine's going to come back is just an injectable. I take no oral supplementation in powder form for any amino acids whatsoever. So it's coming from diet and it's coming from what I'm injecting. So at that point, like, it's the only way you're going to really know if it's truly working. It's the best way to do it through blood, through LabCorp. You can't go wrong.
And you're so right, and I get to see it because I'm doing my work, and I'm keeping notes and I'm keeping track of this just to really see what works for me, especially at this stage. It's like, you know, at this stage, again, whatever Titan Medical is recommending to me to optimize, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to have a great team there that I get to call and go over this stuff with. But again, at the same time, for you guys out there, keep learning, keep doing what you're doing, and make sure that you are healthy. Because the one thing, I, and again, I love social media because it gives you a lot of great information if you use it correctly.
Mhm.
And I was watching again, this is going to be the difference between new school and old school.
Hmm.
Um, two people, a father and a son, went and saw a doctor, and the son was in his mid 20s and said that he's tired, doesn't feel like things are working well, and the doctor also asked the father how he's doing, and he's like, "I'm fine, I'm fine." Anyways, they moved forward, and the 20-year-old was very low testosterone for whatever reason it was,
Right.
um, and he was tired. And he came back a couple months later, and the kid was feeling great. And the father came with again, and the doctor asked the father, "How you feel?" And he goes, "I'm tired. I'm broken. I'm not recovering." So the point there was, and it was a great analogy, is a lot of us old school guys will just
Hmm.
push through. You'll push through. You
It's true.
think that you're supposed to be fatigued. You think that you're supposed to be this, like, even mood swings. You
Yep.
think that that is normal because you've been living that lifestyle for a while, and you don't know that the blood work is going to show you something else, and that
Hmm.
Titan Medical could actually help you. And so don't be the stubborn old school guy. You know, don't be like me thinking, this is the way it is. Go over there and see what's going on, and let the blood work tell you what it is. And again, it's not even
Hmm.
Titan Medical. It's the blood work's going to show you what you're at. Titan
Yep.
Medical will explain to you to their very best ability on what's going on. And then you guys work as a team to say, okay, what can I
Hmm.
do now to move forward and optimize? Is that kind of,
No, for sure. Definitely. That's exactly what it is. I mean, we can help. There's certain therapies you don't need blood work for. I always put that out there because everybody, I just want to make sure they know that. But it's a very important thing to know. It really is. I hear people all the time, and especially males, that, I haven't had blood work done in 10 years. I ain't been to the doctor in 15 years. And
right?
they kind of wear it as like a badge of honor. I'm like, dude, I understand you haven't been sick. There's nothing been broken. You don't need to go see a doctor. I know you're tough. It ain't nothing about ego. It's about being preventative, and it's really about knowing what's going on and living the best possible quality of life you possibly can with the time that you have. Because I mean, if you live a bad quality of life for 20 years, you've just lost that time. And what? You're
Yeah.
miserable during that time. You got the grumpy old man syndrome. You got limp noodle. You're depressed. So you're taking it. I
Limp
mean,
noodle.
you know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Yeah.
why? You don't have to live like that. That's not. There's options on the table. That says, hey, listen, if there's problems in these areas, we can fix it and improve it. So why not do something like that? I still don't get it, right? I mean, I just don't get it. And majority of people do get it now. And I'm telling you, when I
Yeah.
first started 12 years ago, there was guys that got it, obviously, I think in the fitness community, but there was a lot of people that in the regular community didn't get it or were very scared of it. And just, it's going to give me a stroke. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. I'm going to have roid rage and all these different things. So it's just not true. When you're doing it right, you're being monitored correctly, and we're knowing what's going on. It's going to be a beautiful thing. It's a life changing experience. I tell people that all the time. Even for me, it was. It was like opening up the shades and seeing the sunlight for the first time. It was just like, oh, and at that point, like I've been going ever since, and it's been improved ever since. So it just keeps getting better, and hopefully, I hope that train don't stop. Or I'm gonna ride it till as long as I can. Ride the
So
wave.
if you don't know, and if you follow Johnny, you know he's a car guy. This guy has some just amazing, amazing, uh, yeah, some, I guess you call them whips.
Yep. Yep.
um, so, and I don't know. I've just never been a car guy for me. I appreciate it, but I'm not the guy that's out there. I'm the guy that wants to be in the gym all the time, and I'm
Yep.
I'm ADD that way. But there's a correlation to this, is that when you're a car guy, and my whole crew here is young 20s,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so
yeah.
these guys are, they
I
go to the
know.
car shows, they go to the rallies, they go to everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, everybody has their thing. But they're like the hoods are up and they're looking at all little things and they're adding to their cars and they're making that that is me when it comes to weightlifting, doing
Right.
my blood work, doing
Right.
my amino acids, making
Right.
sure that my protocol with the nutrition is on point.
Yeah.
My discussions all the time is like, so what can I do? Um, uh, it's just every little detail, and so
Mhm.
it's cool to see the correlation with that. But for you guys out there, that's how I look at it, and so it's
Yeah.
easy for me to tell you all the first thing you want to do if you want to do health and fitness. No, forget that. The first thing you do if you want to be just healthy, let's remove working out. Let's remove all that. Let's get the I guess the elephant in the room off your back. Are you healthy? Are you in
Right.
your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and you're healthy? Is everything going on inside, or is there something going on that you don't know about that could
Right.
set you up to lose?
Right.
And so it goes back to that's how anal I am about my health. Is that
Mhm.
I want to be here. I want to make sure it's good, and I don't know how these people do it. And I'm on the East Coast right now, and I'm at the gym, and I'm meeting all these new people, and it's amazing. It's both sides of the fences. It's amazing. We've met tons and tons of people because I'm at a new gym, and so everybody's kind of like coming up
Oh yeah.
and photos and stuff, which is fine with me. And if you're here and you come up and you see me, don't worry about it. I'll stop the workout and say hello.
That's the man right there.
Today,
That's good man.
today I saw a woman in there that was blind, overweight, still working out.
Oh wow.
And I'm seeing it. I'm just watching all these individuals in there, just going. You know what? It's about movement. It's about getting in the gym. It's about making sure the body can still do this, and about you know living that full life.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say this because I also met somebody that was the opposite of it. Everything was negative. Everything was bad. Everything was like, what? Yeah. And I'm
Mm.
like, wow, that's such a mindset. And I hope that people here have the mindset of going, it's 130 for guys, or it's 200 for a girl to go check to see, make sure I'm healthy.
Oh man.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
Super nice.
I'm going to get checked. I want to make sure that I'm healthy. And then from there, can I get on these amino acids? Can I get on the Hercules potion? Can I get the L-carnitine injectable? That way
Right.
I'm burning more fat.
Right.
And let's get moving in that direction just so I can still be the savage or want to be the savage. Um, that's how I approach it.
That's how I'd be too. I
So
mean, the exact same way. Definitely got to be. I mean, come on. I mean, it's very inexpensive, the value that you get for the test for the price. I promise you guys. So, I mean, you could look anywhere else. I'm the most inexpensive in the whole country as far as that goes. I make sure of that because, at that point, like I'm in it for people's health. I want them to at least know. At that point, if they don't even want to do anything with us, at least they have their blood results and they can do something with them, or at least they know what's on the results. So at that point, if they, some people, they get like, oh, well, it doesn't matter what's on the blood test, or I don't care, type situation. So, at that point, like at least they have the knowledge, and at least if things get bad, then they know what they have to do. So, I mean, I've been in some bad situations where like, I've seen people in some pretty bad health problems with their blood work, like, like total renal failure, like, literally sitting with a pretty high fitness person at the time and looking at his blood work and telling
oh
him, hey man,
he was high fitness. He was,
I
you
mean,
know,
he was,
it made
Mr.
the news.
Extreme, so at that point, like, that's, it's pretty scary to do, at that point. Like, so I take it very serious, man. Then my dad with his health problems, stage 4 chronic kidney disease, with the colorectal cancer, I'm like, man, Phew. And I don't want to be scared because that's not a way to live life either.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. There you go.
But being realistic and hitting things head on, like I'm going to schedule my colonoscopy here very shortly. I think in the next 2 months or something like that. Get that checked, get that out of the way. At that point, listen, at least I'm taking the proper measurements myself, and I'm doing the blood work. So at that point, like, I'm to talk about maybe go to get some scans and all that, like, because listen, knowledge is power, and the more knowledge you have, about your health, I think the more in control you are of your life.
Yeah, and then for you out there that are like, well, great. Again, you and I always talk about optimizing it. Great, your numbers are good. Okay, now what can you do amino acids and other
Right.
peptides, or what can you do to make sure that not only are you firing on all cylinders, how can you optimize it so you're even better than you were before?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah. And that's another one, peptides. So, I mean, even if you want, we have the peptides still. So, if you guys don't know what peptides are, these things are awesome things that can help in so many different areas, from healing to weight loss, to cognitive enhancement, and a number of other different things. Anti-aging. I mean, it's just across the board. So there are peptides available as far as that goes that might possibly go away in the future. But at that point, we do still have testosterone, which that's been a game changer for so many patients. I cannot tell you. I mean, it has definitely been one of the strongest therapies that I've seen. Um, really help a lot of people that have had growth hormone deficiencies, um, or at that point, have a lot of abdominal fat and they couldn't get rid of it, which is really, really cool. It's two things it does. So increases growth hormone, natural growth hormone, and starts targeting abdominal belly fat. So, I mean, super cool and definitely a good complement with your HRT if you are on an HRT or any therapy at that point.
I know we get asked a lot, um, and where are you? I don't know how you'd say. I had two of the Titan crew members, well, much more than that, but two that specifically were in their early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them had low free testosterone,
Mm-hmm.
very low. And so
Mm-hmm.
the recommendation was maybe start with a couple natural remedies from there,
Mm-hmm.
and then make a decision. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and it's amazing that they did start with the natural.
Right.
Within 3 months, they were like, the numbers did come up. So let me just clarify. You took care of the issue they were having,
Mm-hmm.
but they felt like, wow, is this how I'm supposed to feel? And it was
Mm.
like such a shock to both of them. And it still didn't raise their T levels to where, I guess you could be optimized at. And
Right.
so for everybody out there, there's a big range
Yeah.
for your testosterone. And is it right that Titan Medical, if somebody's at 300,
Mhm.
you can then prescribe them um,
Of course.
testosterone to get that number up to a
Yeah.
900 or so?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so 264 to 96 or 216 to 964. 264 to 916. 264 to 916, sorry. At that point, like that's the range for LabCorp, right? And Quest is a little bit higher, it's 1150, which LabCorp's used to be 1150 years ago, but they moved it down to 916. I don't know why. Never got a response of why, but it is what it is. So if you come back at, let's say, 300 or 400 and you're symptomatic, then at that point the provider is going to treat you. It's not just about numbers with our providers. I mean,
Right,
that's really
right,
robotic.
right.
Like I could plug that into AI, and AI could they could tell me right away, "No, you treat this, don't do this," because just where the numbers are at. So you got to take in consideration what the symptoms are. So patients are highly symptomatic of low testosterone symptoms, and it kind of correlates with the blood work of them being on the lower side of the totem pole. Then they're going to prescribe them. That's totally up to the provider and stuff like that, and the patient. But at that point, we want to optimize. But we don't want to take somebody that's like at an 800 total and put on testosterone just to get them to 900. That would make no sense.
Right,
We
right.
wouldn't want
And
to do
and
that.
I think that was the cool thing about watching these guys, because they did then both go on testosterone. Um,
Oh
and
wow.
to see them uh, emotionally change,
Mm-hmm.
smiling so much more. And they were already happy guys, but it was just like you could see them going, wow, this is how the body works when it's working correctly. It was
Yes.
so cool for me to see that, because at the end of the day, I absolutely love my Titan crew, because I do that for free. That is my time I give to them, because I like to see people. I mean, this is like my art.
Yeah.
Food and training is my art piece that I want to share with the world, and want everybody to go, man, life could be really fun if you do the foundation work like Johnny does,
Mm-hmm.
and you can still tussle and keep doing your thing, and feel good and look good and be healthy. And so it was cool to see a couple of guys go, hey, I'm going to make that journey into something and start the testosterone
Super
and
cool.
move into that, and then to see them and their bodies changed. Wow,
Yeah.
they work so hard already, but
Yeah.
to see how it works when the body's just working with you,
Yeah.
it was a beautiful thing.
And that's really what it is, right? I mean, when the body or anything, even a car, is working at 100% of its capacity, like totally test and tuned, dialed in, it's going to get the best optimal result, right? If you're doing the right things, if you're driving the car the right way, it's going to go the fastest lap. If you're training, you're getting nutrition, you're recovering, you're sleeping, you're drinking your water, you're doing these pillars, you're going to get expedited results or better results. Even somebody that's really morbidly overweight that might have low testosterone, if they do the right things, they're going to lose some weight. They're going to hit plateaus and they might not lose as much weight as they would before, put on as much muscle or whatever it may be. So, it's really in your benefit to optimize things and to do the right things along with them to complement them to get your best possible result. And it's not just about taking testosterone and looking like Michael Hearn, because that will never happen. Okay. It's about doing the right things and then, taking, testosterone to optimize if that's what you need.
One thing I just realized when you're talking about this, and it's just an analogy, is that I'm a SUV guy. I like the big tanks and stuff, and my girl was kind enough to for my birthday to get me a Mercedes,
Yeah.
and my SUV is great, and it's fun to drive. And then and I'm like, okay, I get in the Mercedes and I drive it and I go, wow, that's a different world.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
that handle's different. And the
Yes.
metaphor here for me was when you might numbers might be okay, good, you're healthy,
Yeah.
whatever it is, but how
Yeah.
can you optimize it? That was me getting in the Mercedes going,
Yeah.
oh, I didn't know. Wow, this is a
Yeah.
I was blindsided by that when I drove that. And so that's it's just the same thing when it comes to your body. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
didn't know it could feel this good. I didn't know that I could actually drop body fat. I can get rid of those love handles and
Right.
that cellulite on the legs and all that kind of. So just for you guys out there, when it really comes down to it in your health, that's my best analogy. And I know Johnny likes it because he loves
Oh no.
cars.
I love that. I love that analogy. That's a perfect analogy for me. People that are living in it for so long, they think that's the best until they get into something new and they're like, oh, wow, this is what I've been missing here. Yeah, that's exactly what you've been missing. That's what I'm saying. People don't know until they do it. And then when they
Yeah.
do it, like, oh my God, they think they're doing good now. And that's great because you're pushing through and doing what you got to do. And I've been there too. But at that point, like when you get optimized and you're like, oh man, like this is what it's supposed to feel like. And you're like, I don't want to lose this feeling. This is exactly how I want to feel every day. This is exactly what I want to do. So, I've been on this journey along with our patients. I'm patient zero. So I've tried every therapy. I've done everything that you guys have done and more. So at that point, like I know exactly what I can tell you guys is my experience. And I've been on it for this long and I've changed tremendously body wise through my journey of Titan Medical Center as a patient. So, what I can do, you can do. That's for sure.
I have a question for you, and you can jump over this. Can you let them know, because we have a lot of new viewers here? Can you let them know maybe the hiccup you did when you were younger that made you have to walk into this and do it consistently? Make sense? Because
Yeah.
I'm worried about a lot of these guys out there that are young and they're doing something,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
So,
they can still fix it and they can still get on the right track.
yeah, I mean, obviously, listen. So, in my 20s and stuff like that, I did experiment with some different androgens and stuff like that. So, obviously, that crashed my levels. After that, I was never the same. For years. At that point. And when I tested my total testosterone at that point, it still never came back up. It was like a 98 total. Like, there's girls that have higher total testosterone than me. I'm like, what's going on here? But I'm still getting up every day, working a 10 to 12-hour job, going to train at the gym for an hour and a half to 2 hours. That's Charisse. And at that point, coming home, sleeping or eating and sleeping, and then waking up and doing it again. So just kind of, I was a zombie. I call it the Walking Dead status because that's what I felt
Yeah.
like. So, at that point, like, that's something that I did wrong. That, at that point, like, I wanted to get bigger. I was putting in work, but I didn't think I was getting the result that I should have. And, it was just something that messed me up. So that was a mistake by me. And that's a mistake that I see a lot of younger guys do because they want the instant gratification. They want to be big. They want this, and they don't care what they have to do to get it. But you got to understand, they're sacrificing everything. If you want to play, you're going to pay either now or later. You can pick or decide, or it's going to happen on its own,
Yeah.
and you're going to have to deal with it. So I deal with a lot of people like that, and even kids that are, or not kids, but younger guys that are taking SARMs. So they're taking these SARMs, they're crashing their levels. And you might as well take testosterone because you got liver toxicity with most of these things. So, it's a bad situation out there. And I think there's things out there they can do, or things out there they should be doing. Like, they should be pushing their genetics as far as they possibly can. They should be eating these same things that we talk about all the time, right? It's like the essentials. That's what I'm just going to stamp it as from now on. If anybody wants to know what it is, I'll break it down, but that's the essentials. And I think if they do that, and they can do some of these different things, maybe even peptides, because if they blood test, and let's say they're in their 20s, let's say there's 22 years old, they can blood test and say, hey, listen, because I've seen 22-year-olds that have naturally just in the dumps testosterone levels, or they have naturally in the dumps IGF-1 levels, which are their growth hormone levels, and they look like it, if that makes any sense. Like I can tell a person right now, like I can see certain things like you're taking, or you're deficient in, just by what the body looks like. So at that point, like, it's just kind of crazy. So, I think that blood testing, we come back to that. That's key, but, maybe not wanting to put yourself as a sacrifice for your health later on in life, or having to deal with some of these things. I mean, it's totally up to you. It's your body, but you should learn from our mistakes. And I know a lot of guys have said the exact same thing that I'm saying right now. And a lot of kids or younger guys are, this guy, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm the exception to the rule, right? And you'll find out maybe you're not, so just don't do that. That's one thing that I would say that I learned, from before to now, I guess. And I really try to tell younger guys about, or even kids that come up to me, like Peter's friends. Of course, they know what I do. I mean, I'm on billboards, on TV over there. Like, they know what type, and they ask Peter. And some of those kids are on juice already. That's a scary thing. I'm like, Peter, do not go this route. That's the one thing I put in his mind. I'm like, listen, don't do this, because it's a pressure too. All the coaches telling you got to put a body on. You got to do this. You want to go to D1, you got to do this. You got to do this, and it's a lot of pressure. I mean, I admit it. I'm like, there's a lot of pressure. I didn't have that much pressure on me when I was doing it. I mean, because I don't think I needed to be like, 6'4", 240 pounds. I wasn't a linebacker at that point. I was playing baseball. So it's a little bit different, So, I mean, wide receiver, yeah, but I don't think I was as fast as some of the guys today.
I think it's just for anybody out there listening and stuff. Again, and I've seen this my whole career, that it's the young, hungry guy that doesn't want to wait, that wants to be it now, that kind of hurts his body and his potential because he didn't work on the foundation and create a great foundation before journeying into something else. But you got somebody in front of you that, hey, jumped a little early, tweaked the body, but came back and now is and has been for not just for a longest time, it is healthy, looks incredible, it trains and lives life to the fullest right in front of you. And so it's just cool for you guys to go, and because of the fact that I know that society or social media shows the youngster that did it, and then the demise of what happened in his later years and how they fell apart. And I want you to know that that doesn't have to happen.
No,
it doesn't have to happen. You can stay healthy. You can get back to it, right?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I just seen yesterday, there's this like viral kid, 15 years old, who's on juice. He's been documenting the whole thing. Of course, he has a body on him at 15, but he's 15 years old. He hasn't even went through puberty totally. You don't even know what your body's going to do yet. And now you've definitely thrown a monkey wrench at what's going on in the body. And it's going to have long-lasting lifetime effects on this kid. You mark my words. Wow. So it's just scary. And then, you got other kids watching this, because every kid's got a cell phone, and every kid knows what trend is. Every kid knows they know these things, Mike. It's
Yeah.
like, damn, dude. It's like, because before it'd be like, yeah, if you were in the fitness community, yeah, you probably knew what these terms were, deep all this. But when you hear like just regular kids that they ain't in the gym, they're just on social media and they're getting the lowdown from every influencer out there about what their best steroid cycle is. Is this a good steroid cycle? How young should I take this? And then you guys got the guys that are taking it. And then
Yeah.
there's on there. So I mean, it's kind of crazy. I think, at that point that YouTube should possibly do something about those kids. If you're a minor and you're doing illegal substances on one of these platforms and you're targeting
Yeah. That's
minors,
mind blowing
you know what I'm
that's not.
saying? That's something to me is like, that's a little like, all right, so what are we putting out here? Are you guys saying this is okay? I mean, it's freedom of speech, but this kid's not even an adult. So at that point,
Yeah.
like, he shouldn't even be on there putting that. I don't know. I don't know. I feel a certain way about some of these different things on there because ultimately I think it could affect our kids or put pressure on our kids later on. And I think our kids are going to be strong enough, but there's kids out there that are not going to be strong enough, willed, to be able to, they're just going to do it. They're going to think I have to do this to get to this level.
Yeah. And I just came off of a trip to Texas where I did an appearance. And again, I love being out there and doing appearances and meeting the people and meeting those people that are willing to come and see me at stores like this or even at the gym. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I get to meet so many different individuals, and it's confusing to me that just the basic stuff. Yeah, I have to keep saying it, and trust me, it's nauseous that I have to continue to say it's about your food, it's about your sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes training. Then
Mm-hmm.
comes supplementation. That's down here.
Yep.
But the basic stuff, and that's one of the cool things. Again, I go back to Titan Medical. They say, "Are you eating right? Are you sleeping right? Are
Yep.
you getting some kind of exercise in there?"
Yep.
And for me to have to say when people come up and say, "Hey, so I'm training really well. What's the best split to do?" And then I go, "Real quick, how's your nutrition?" Ah, it's not good. It's like
Mm-hmm.
you're jumping
Right.
you're jumping this basic thing that it has to happen this way. And if you
Right.
guys are looking for a trick, the trick is you have to eat. You have to eat, and you got to eat intelligently.
Yep.
And then you can move into the other aspects of it. And the reason
Yep.
why I say that is because if you think you get to do what these young 20-year-olds that are in the gyms and they may be doing the other path at
Right.
such a young age,
Right.
um, it doesn't set you up to win in life. And I know that you're not seeing the final project, but if you go back far enough, and that's the great thing about social media, it's been out long enough to
Yep.
where you can go to this and you can check 15 years ago to the guy that says, "Hey, I got the best training plan, I got the best nutrition. This is what you should do." And then you can see within 15 years they're destroyed or they're broken down and there's nothing
Mm-hmm.
left.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, go follow again. Johnny is a young 40, but he's been doing this. He's got the
Yeah.
knowledge on this. Talk to him before doing anything crazy. All right. Just for you
That's
youngsters, I know there's a lot of youngsters on here today, but make sure to talk to their staff and talk to them before making any kind of decision.
definitely.
You want to add on to that because again, I had a great trip to Texas, great people, but there were so many youngsters. These
Yeah,
guys are beyond young that are coming to meet me
I
with
know.
the mindset of doing what that 15-year-old
No,
kid was doing.
no. It's because they see it. They want to be that. That's like anything else. Like, you're a movie star. People want to be like movie stars. They're driven by this, and it's crazy. And like I said, like, then you got the adults and they're talking about it. Like a lot of these pros or just influencers or wherever the hell they are out there, just talking about it. It's common knowledge out there now. And like I said, from young to old, and now you got the younger guys thinking like this is the way to go. And it's like, man, this is really not. I mean, it's just not. And you got some of the influencers that, like I said, like this 15-year-old kid. You got these Trent twins, Sam Sulik, which I don't hate on them at all. But at that point, like there's younger generation watching those guys, and at that point, what are they seeing? They want to emulate you. They want to be as big as you, Sam. They want to be as
Yeah.
cut. I seen him with his shirt off today. He looked great on Generation Iron. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, the guy does look good, but what's it look like on the back end, right? How much chemical warfare are we talking about? What does nutrition look like? Because I seen him eat a lot of Krispy Kreme donuts. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, he's shuttling that.
You're making me hungry.
Shit. I mean, I want to eat those, damn it. So I mean, I don't know. It's just crazy. It's crazy, but I think putting it out there, I think, if people like you or us or whoever it is that are influencing kids are putting the right message out there and telling them this, hopefully that they'll get the right idea. Like, hey, listen, this is what it should be. I don't know, because I've seen some different people out there, even announcers and stuff like that, say that all sports should let all PEDs be used by every player, and it'll be and then every player will be on
don't
straight
they?
playing field.
I think
But
there is, and I don't know if it was a joke or not, but I think there's somebody that is trying to do a kind of Olympics event, but everybody
right,
is allowed to be on something.
right, right.
Um, and
So
again,
what does that tell you? I mean, it's going to be an influence. It's going to be like anything else. We just need to educate. We need to make sure that we're telling our younger dudes, because it's not. I mean, even girls, I guess too now. I mean, it's man. We don't even talk about the girls, but at that point, the girls too. I mean, a lot of girls doing a lot of different things that I see, and it's like, wow, I'm like girls weren't doing that back in the day. So it's a whole new experience for me.
guys, we got to stay healthy. Keep doing your things. Get over to Titan Medical. Get your blood work done this week. And again, they have a lot of options also. There is the blood work that they're giving out right now, which you can
Yes.
do. Or I recommend for anybody that's really serious about this, ask for some extra stuff on there. Ask for like the amino acid breakdown on
Yes.
those. Um,
Yes.
and there's some other things you can ask for there to kind of just get a even more broad. Now you don't need those. I'm just giving you a little bit more insight. So maybe you could come back and go, hey, so yes, I know the Hercules potion, the AAs, and so much more. But again, Johnny, is L-carnitine still a big
Sure.
peptide for
Yeah.
this week?
Yeah, L-carnitine is another big one for this week. And listen, if you call up and you have no idea what you want, you have no idea what we offer, let the girls know. Listen, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. I want weight loss. I want to gain some lean muscle. I want a better libido. I want to think better. Whatever it is, let us know, and then we can kind of steer you in some directions of the options that we have for you too as well. And then we'll explain those options if you need the explanation. You can also go on our website, titanmedicalcenter.com, and it has a breakdown of all our amino acid blends, even our signature ones like Hercules, Titan Complete, Titan Serenity for sleeping. We got something for everybody out there. So at that point, like whether it's your hair health, one of my photographers was here Friday, and he was like, he's on hormone replacement with us, right? I'm like, all right, cool. And he starts telling me, he's like, hey, he's like, I want to make sure my hair is good and everything like that. So I got this stuff from Hims. I'm like, bro, we have something that's way better. And I'm like, I'll save you money on this. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, I didn't even know. So, that's one thing that I really don't get to talk about that much, but that's a big thing for a lot of people out there. So, that's another thing. So hair products or anything like that, if you want to keep your hair, you want thicker hair, we got you there too as well. So we've got something for everybody. It is what it is. So happy 4th of July to everybody for sure. And thank you, Mike, for having me on here as well.
Absolutely, brother. And again, welcome to all the new viewers today. And again, thank you for earlier this morning, this conversation there.
Yeah.
Again, for the Giga Chads that are all here.
Yeah, big shout out, Giga Chads.
You guys, let's get the jawline. Let's make sure that the blood work is right, and we're still building the
That's
pipes. Johnny, thanks for
We gotta
hanging
get
out
guns
today,
like
my
you.
man. You already got
Appreciate
the
it, Mike.
guns.
I got
only need
guns,
the
but man, I
to
want
buy
to
myself.
get those guns. I want bigger arms, damn it. All right, I'm gonna go hit the gym.
Sure. Go work out.
I'm gonna do that
Bye,
right
buddy.
now, actually. All right, man. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thanks, my man. What a good cat, man. Hey, guys. Love it. Thanks for hanging today, man. Really appreciate you guys, and we'll talk soon. Let me see if there's any final questions here real quick before I actually sign off, guys. Giga Chads, crush it.